Over the next 2 weeks, Days of Our Lives will take viewers on a thrilling ride filled with unexpected revelations, high-stakes confrontations, and life-threatening danger. E.J. DiMera, a man used to being in control, will find himself in a precarious situation that could shake the very foundation of his world. Not only does he stumble upon Ava Vitali in a shocking state, but he also uncovers a family secret that could change everything. Will he make the right choices, or will his latest discoveries put him in grave danger? E.J. DiMera stumbles upon a hostage situation in Armid. E.J. has always believed in the power of knowledge and leverage, but nothing could have prepared him for what he finds when he returns to the DiMera family's old summer estate in Armid. Expecting the house to be abandoned, he instead discovers Ava Vitali bound and held captive in a vintage wheelchair. The sight alone is enough to unnerve him, but what truly shakes him is the implication. Who would go to such lengths to imprison her, and why? Ava has always been a survivor, but this time, she might be in over her head. She's been caught in a tangled web of deception, answering a call for help that turned out to be a carefully laid trap. When E.J. demands answers, she reveals that she was lured to Armid by his own niece, desperate to reunite her parents. But the situation is far more complicated than it seems. Ava has unwittingly walked into a dangerous game, one orchestrated by a woman long thought to be dead. Kristen DiMera's shocking family revelation as E.J. processes the shocking sight of Ava's captivity. Another bombshell explodes in his world. His sister, Kristen, is about to come face to face with someone from her past. Her mother, a woman she had believed was long gone. This revelation threatens to upend everything Kristen thought she knew, but instead of being overwhelmed by emotion, she sees an opportunity. Kristen's daughter, Rachel, has been relentless in her mission to reunite her parents. And now, with her grandmother's unexpected return, she has more ammunition than ever. However, Kristen's priority remains her own interests. Ava's presence in the house presents a dilemma, one that Kristen refuses to let stand in the way of protecting her daughter's wishes. Will she turn a blind eye to Ava's suffering, or will she use it to her advantage? E.J. DiMera's own dangerous secret. While E.J. wrestles with the choice of whether to intervene, he harbors a secret of his own, one that could make him just as culpable as the captors in Armid. Unbeknownst to many, E.J. has been keeping someone else locked away. Deep in the wine cellar of Shea DiMera, his former enemy-turned-rival, Rafe Hernandez, remains hidden, a pawn in E.J.'s ongoing battle for control. But as events spiral in Armid, E.J. decides to move Rafe into the supposedly abandoned estate, thinking it would be a safer and more strategic location. However, in doing so, he makes a dangerous miscalculation. The house in Armid is far from deserted. It's a nest of secrets and peril, and his actions could come back to haunt him in ways he never imagined. Will E.J.'s knowledge put a target on his back? E.J.'s ability to play the game has always given him an advantage, but this time, he might have stumbled into something he can't control. His discovery of Ava's captivity, his knowledge of his sister's buried past, and his own dangerous hostage situation make him a liability to those who prefer to keep their secrets in the dark. Kristen has always been ruthless when it comes to protecting what's hers. If E.J. presses too hard, he may find himself facing his sister's wrath in ways he never expected. Meanwhile, others who have a vested interest in keeping Ava quiet could see E.J. as a threat. A single misstep could get him shot or worse. With so many lives hanging in the balance, Days of Our Lives promises an intense 2 weeks ahead. Will E.J. make the right call, or will his hunger for power and control finally be his undoing? Stay tuned as the drama unfolds in Salem and beyond. The shocking shootings of E.J. DiMera, a legacy of betrayal, revenge, and survival. Few characters in Days of Our Lives have experienced as much drama, danger, and betrayal as E.J. DiMera. The wealthy and cunning son of Stefano DiMera, E.J.'s life has been filled with power struggles, turbulent romances, and shocking betrayals. However, nothing has shaped his journey quite like the multiple times he has been shot. These violent encounters have left lasting scars, both physical and emotional, forever altering his relationships and defining his path in the town of Salem. Each shooting represents a pivotal moment in his story, filled with intrigue, revenge, and shocking twists that have kept viewers on the edge of their seats. The 2007 wedding day shooting. A bride, a bullet, and a shocking truth. One of the most unforgettable moments in EJ's life came in November 2007 during what was supposed to be a joyous occasion, his wedding to Sammy Brady. However, in true Salem fashion, the day turned into a nightmare. As the ceremony concluded, gunfire erupted, and EJ collapsed, struck by a bullet in his back. The attack left him paralyzed, setting off a chain of events that would alter the course of his life forever. At first, Lucas Horton, Sammy's former husband and the father of her child, confessed to the crime. The shocking admission led to his arrest and imprisonment, but the truth was far more complicated. It was later revealed that their son, Will Horton, had been the one to pull the trigger. The revelation sent shockwaves through Salem, leaving Sammy torn between the man she had once loved and the father of her child. Though EJ eventually regained the ability to walk, the shooting left a deep wound, not just in his body, but in his relationship with Sammy and the entire Horton family. Trust was shattered, and even as time passed, the echoes of that fateful day continued to haunt him. The 2010 attempted murder. A bullet to the head and a shattered love. By 2010, EJ had become a master manipulator, willing to cross any line to get what he wanted. His love for Sammy had turned into a toxic obsession, leading him to commit one of his most unforgivable acts, kidnapping their daughter as a means of punishing her. When the truth came out, Sammy was pushed to the brink. In a moment of rage, heartbreak, and desperation, she stormed into the DiMera mansion, where she found EJ passed out drunk. Overcome with emotion, she grabbed a gun and shot him in the head. For days, EJ lay in a coma, teetering on the edge of life and death. When he finally woke up, his memory was fractured, and for a time he believed he was still married to Sammy, completely unaware that she had moved on and wed Rafe Hernandez. This twist only deepened the turmoil between them. The shooting wasn't just an act of vengeance. It was a symbol of how toxic and destructive their love had become. Though EJ survived, the bullet to his head became a metaphor for their fractured relationship. The once undeniable passion between them had been replaced by distrust, resentment, and an unbreakable cycle of pain. The 2014 fatal encounter. Betrayed by a bodyguard, targeted by an enemy. EJ's final and most devastating shooting came in October 2014. By this time, he had clawed his way back to the top, reclaiming his power and position in Salem. But power always comes at a cost, and for EJ, the price was his own life. His downfall came at the hands of his own bodyguard, Miguel, who had secretly aligned himself with Clyde Weston, a ruthless crime boss. Under Clyde's orders, Miguel turned on EJ, shooting him and leaving him to bleed out in what was staged to look like a random mugging. This betrayal struck at the heart of who EJ was. A man who always thought he was in control, only to be undone by someone he trusted. As he lay dying, the people closest to him were left reeling. Sammy was devastated, realizing too late that despite all their battles, she had never stopped loving him. Even as he took his last breath, his enemies celebrated, believing they had finally rid themselves of one of Salem's most powerful figures. But in true Days of Our Lives fashion, death isn't always final. In a shocking twist, EJ's sister, Kristen DiMera, was seen injecting an unknown substance into his body at the morgue. What was in that syringe? Had EJ truly died? Or was there a darker, more mysterious plot at play? The moment left fans speculating. Was this the last chapter in EJ DiMera's story? Or was there more to come? The legacy of EJ DiMera's shootings. Betrayal, revenge, and resurrection. Each shooting in EJ's life has not only changed him but has sent shockwaves through Salem. His near-death experiences have exposed betrayals, ignited long-standing feuds, and reshaped the relationships around him. They have turned enemies into allies, lovers into strangers, and have constantly reminded everyone that in Salem, no one is ever truly safe. EJ's journey has been defined by power, passion, and peril. Whether he is manipulating his enemies, loving fiercely, or fighting for survival, his presence in Days of Our Lives has left an undeniable mark. Though he has been shot, betrayed, and even presumed dead, one thing is certain: EJ DiMera is a survivor. And in a town like Salem, where secrets never stay buried for long, Who's to say he won't return once again?